close.
You did.
And she will talk to us a little bit. It's not news to some of us what Windridge does, but she'll bring us up to date.
My cohort is Chris Stowe. He's an instructor with Windridge, and he's also our technology guru. And so I bring him with me, so if something goes awry, he can handle it, and I don't have to get stressed out. So that's Chris. I know that, who in the room doesn't know what Windridge does? Anybody? So anybody has an idea of what we do? Okay. On the screens as I'm talking, you're just going to see photos of what we're doing out at Windridge, which is northwestish of Diana, about 5 or so miles off of First Street off of 726, and then a couple more turns. So we have the pleasure of sitting in the countryside to be able to offer our families peace and a peaceful setting, a place to relax and breathe, and not have all the hustle and bustle of town and life. But in a quick nutshell, Windridge has been here, which is, I'm very excited to say. Next year we step into our 30th anniversary. So the 30 years in this East Texas community is fabulous. We use the horses movement as a therapy tool to serve children and adults with various forms of disabilities or life dysfunctions. That, in the bottom line, is what we do. The horses movement mimics the human walk explicitly, so we can work with the dysfunctions of the physical needs, is a nice way to say that, balance, crossing midline. We can, and why that is the horse's movement mimics the human body explicitly. We put our person on the back of the horse walks, and in a 30-minute period of time, that body has received 3,000 repetitions of movement in 30 minutes. That's not achievable with just the body and the machine. It's just not. I won't do 3,000 repetitions of something in 30 minutes. You could probably forget that. So most people will too. And we get to have fun. We're outside. We're riding a horse. We're getting to groom the horse. We're petting the horse. We're taking care of the horse. We're not inside four walls working with a bike or standing bars or something potentially stable. We ride out in trails, so we get to hear the leaves crunching and falling on us if it's fall, and sweating if it's warm, and things like that. But that's things that children do that sometimes they don't get to do. Adults work with not only life dysfunctions from depression to addictions, PTSD, to situations that happen to us, strokes, closed head injuries, spinal injuries. We're able to work with those and gear our classes to the adult person that they are and become friends. A lot of the times we just become friends with our adults. The therapy's going on, but when you've had a disruption in life, sometimes your friends go away. And so we become their new set of friends. So that's very, very amazing to do. But what I wanted to really emphasize on, I was looking at your brochure. First of all, I need to back up just a minute. I had the honor of being chosen as part of the group study exchange program in 2004 that this district participated in with South Korea. This club sponsored me to be able to go on that group study exchange. So first of all, for those who knew that, and those who didn't, and those who may have forgotten and maybe don't care, thank you very much. It was a life-altering event for me in 2004, and I could see the benefits of Rotary in South Korea, up close and personal. It was a very eye-opening experience in a lot of ways. So first of all, thank you for that. Second of all, I feel very tied to this club because of that. I'm not a member, but You guys hold a very special place in my heart for that, so thank you for that. But as I'm looking at your program there on the table, the first words, I read the inside first, so I apologize. I turned it over and folded it like a brochure is supposed to be. And I'm hit with the words, be the inspiration. I'm assuming that's Rotary's theme as a whole club. I don't know if that's for this year or just the new one now. But be the inspiration. I don't know if how much you guys have thought about those three words. Be the inspiration. As so many people, clubs, churches, different organizations struggle with obtaining the young person in their club, they miss those three words. Be the inspiration. If you can grab a hold of those three words and realize what you as that person sitting at every one of these tables, myself and Chris, can do with that. I fortunately and unfortunately get to be the inspiration every day I go to work. The unfortunate part of that is I can take it for granted because that has been my job for almost 30 years. I started at Windridge. When we started in 1989 as a volunteer, I grew into the position, applied for the executive director role when our founder, Marvin Duquette, retired in 2016 and was hired. So sometimes I take advantage. It's a disadvantage because being the inspiration is almost part of every part of my day. I'm not always a good inspiration. I'm not always perfect. But we at Windridge get to be the inspiration for somebody that needs our services. And we make a difference because of the horse. That's the only reason we make a difference, is that four-legged animal and our education on how to put somebody on a horse and keep them safe. Windridge gets to be an inspiration every single day because we are striving for our participants, young and old, not to ride a horse. I could care less if they ride a horse. I am striving for them to gain life skills to help them in their daily life once they're not with us or while they're with us. To be easier in school. Every teacher gets frustrated. I get frustrated too. How can that child learn better in school? How can that child be functional at home? How can that child be functional in the community? Parents can't go out in the community because they're child. And everybody gets annoyed if a child is making a scene. We're human, we do. How can that person be productive if they've had a closed head injury or a spinal cord injury? We are teaching skills as life skills. We are opening the neural pathways within our body and in our brain to where life skills can occur so they can be part of the community. I don't clothe, I don't feed, I don't pay an electric bill. All of those things are very important. I kind of teach to read, but I'm not the literacy council. All of those puzzle pieces in life's puzzle are necessary. We teach, I don't do all those things, but I teach how they can do that for themselves. How can I open up pathways and abilities and body strengthening to where they can provide for themselves as they grow and age. That's what Windridge does. Back to the words. Be the inspiration. You guys' long-time support, I started to look it up, but I didn't. How many every year you guys, this club has supported Windridge? You have been part of the inspiration. Every one of you at these tables Whether you wanted to come to the meeting or were rushed, frustrated, those who didn't get to come, you are part of those 3 little words. It's not just words written on that program. It's your actions, your choices, your efforts that are an inspiration to somebody. And today, it gets to be me. Because I get to be here and talk to you and share more about Windridge. Because I'm going to tell you where we're going. And I know I have time limit. And I want questions and answers. So I will hush soon. I promise. Only 30 minutes. One thing Windridge is doing that some people in the communities know, some people don't. And it took several months for it to transpire. But on October the 2nd, we opened a second activity site in Tyler, Smith County. So currently, Windridge is operating and will continue to operate 2 activity sites. The one in Diana, north of Longview, and a site in Tyler. We acquired a very small center, so we were blessed with horses that just needed our finishing touch of training, and a leased piece of property. I didn't want to do this. I'm going to be honest with every one of you in the room. I told God no. I told him no since November of 17. I went about 2 months dragging my feet and finally made the call to the person who had opened the idea door for us to do this. Wasn't my plan at all. My plan was to come in, be an executive director, strengthen our organization, be able to provide benefits for my staff, and retire. That's what Don was going to do. Well, apparently God had a different plan. So under my leadership, apparently, he thought it would be a great idea to open a second activity site. And I'm thrilled. I was scared to death, wasn't interested, but now, well, even then, it was going to be such a benefit. Tyler, Smith County, has never had a functioning therapeutic riding center that was open to their community, ever. I think that's a shame. And so we've been given the opportunity to change that. We have put an offer in on a piece of property. Yep, already. Talk about God moving. Don't have the money to pay for it, but we put an offer in. I have some financial backing for that offer, but we'll be opening up a building committee, and we will build a facility just like Windridge has now, which you've seen somewhat on some of the videos as they've gone through. A large covered area with covered offices, therapy rooms, a classroom meeting area, covered arena, and covered stalls and parking. That's what we have. And we will be having that in Smith County, and we will develop, and we'll be there for the next 30 years as well. I know you're not in Smith County. We already served you guys. But the excitement part about it is we're going to get to serve somebody else. We're going to get to serve a community as large as the one we're serving now that has never had the opportunity to have their children, their adults, be able to receive this form of therapy. Back to the words. Be the inspiration. The only way I had enough guts to actually say yes to God, because I didn't for a while, was I have 30 years of experience of how a community supports Windridge. You guys are that to me. This club is. The other clubs, the other businesses, the banks here in town. I mean, I can go on and on. I have a $400,000 budget, and we operate that through grants, class fees, and individual donations. It's a fact. We are supported because of the benefits our program does. I'm not bragging. It's scary. It's a task to garner $400,000. But that operates 26 horses, 9 staff members, and 100 plus students a week. They come every week. It's 100 plus. That's what that money does. But back to it, I would have never have had the confidence to strike out in Smith County without the lessons I've learned for 30 years that people do support efforts. Because you see yourselves as be the inspiration. You might not support Windridge personally. You're supporting something. But whatever you're supporting, you mean the world to that person, that club, that group, whoever's being served with that. You shared the story. Somebody behind me shared the story about the dictionaries. It was you, wasn't it? Yeah. That's a huge testimony. This club meant something. That child got that and was reading it. Who knew? Don't kids now just look at, they turn the pages this way because they're swiping right or left on the computer screen? You guys made a difference to those people. You make a difference to your scholarship winners. You see that. They come up, they say thank you. I'm not being flippant. I'm trying to be serious. Turn that statement back to yourself. You matter to each one of us that you care about. Because of your support, I'm confident I can serve the people of Smith County. Maybe not with your money. I don't want to offend anybody. But those people need us too. The thousands of people that have been through our gate that have received services in the last 30 years. Guess what that's going to look like in 30 years for them? 60 years for us. I find it ironic. It's 30th year. But in 60 years, we'll still be here cranking around and somebody will be talking to you. It won't be me. But they'll have reached their 30th anniversary because of today. Because people gave me the confidence to say, yes, I can do that. I could have said no to God. We all have done it. But I had the confidence I know we'll make it because I know people care. Be the inspiration. People are inspired enough to help the community. So not only have you helped Windridge for 20 years, I ate that up. I went in 2004. I thought it was the other day. It's 2004 that I went to South Korea. You're going to be the inspiration for 30 years from now. What more can you say to yourself and to the people you've committed to serve? For one of those people, thank you. We need it. Thank you. Every time. I got to see a child today they don't go out in public because of behavior. He was leading his horse today without having a problem. The problem to him is he falls down on the ground and rolls around and kicks. You don't take him like that in public because people look at you funny. We've been working and working with this kid. Today was the first day that he led his horse. Be it he was 10 feet in front of his horse leading him. He was leading his horse upon instruction. Maybe in 5 years, he can go out in the public. Maybe in 6 months. Who knows? And once you start opening up the pathways in the brain, you never know how fast it's going to come. You're a part of that. And go on and on. I'm not. I have 5 minutes. That gets us out at 1 minute till. Are there any questions? I haven't talked a thing about the video. A lot of y'all know. We use horses. Horses are donated to us. They live with us for life. When they need to be, their life, health or age, it dictates, then they are put down, put to sleep, and they're buried on our property. They never leave. Once they come to Windridge, they never leave. And so they go through extensive training. We have 30 years of background on that, so we take a lot of different sets of trainings. We like a younger horse because he's there to work with us more. Those are some questions that sometimes I get asked, and I know I didn't talk about it because that's not my point today. That's not mine. That's not where I was directed to talk. But does anybody have any questions? Not a one.
How much staff are you going to start with in Tyler?
We have one staff member now in Tyler. We started October the 2nd. We now have 2 full days of operation, which is fabulous. It's just been word of mouth. Fixing to open the 3rd day. So I do have a certified instructor, physical therapist assistant, that is that site supervisor, so she's working 2 days there, fixing to be 3. I've had people stop, see the sign on the road, drive up and say, can I talk to somebody about having my child ride? That's fabulous. But we will grow, as we did at Windridge. Everything will go slowly. We will have our permanent home sooner than Windridge did. Hopefully we'll begin that building campaign soon, and hopefully within building time, garner some money in building time for y'all builders out there, probably 18 months, maybe 2 years. We'll have our permanent home built, and we'll be able to operate there, but we're on lease property now. And so we'll grow as needed. Eventually, there'll be a staff of 9 over there too. So, any other questions? Well, if not, I'm going to say thank you very much. Oh, yes?
Mine's a different question for you. But you said you're not a Rotarian. Do you want to?
Well, that's a conversation I'm not going to have up here on the mic. But, speaking of Windridge, I want to say thank you again. Walk out of this room. Please keep in mind, please don't just grace the cover of that program there because you see it every week. Let your eyes fall on that, be the inspiration, and figure out where are you that inspiration, because you are somewhere. You are to every place you support the Rotarians, but you are somewhere. You are somewhere. And who you're that inspiration for, you may never know, and you may never know the gravity, but you are. And from my side of it, thank you very much.